This is Ian from Lean Media, and today Amazon released its latest brand protection report. It does one of these every year, basically giving kind of a high-level view of the areas that it's trying to fight counterfeits and fight bad actors entering the Amazon seller ecosystem. I just wanted to call out a couple things that I noticed when I looked at this summary report. So the first thing that's really clear about this report is that it's focused on automation. And if you see that number at the top, 700,000, that's the number of quote, bad actor attempts to create new selling accounts, unquote. So Amazon is really trying to prevent bad actors from even entering the system. And for that reason, it has created these automated systems to vet the new sellers who are coming onto the platform. And it says our robust seller verification uses document forgery detection, advanced image and video verification, and other technologies. So just to be clear here, this is not someone sitting at a desk and just looking at a computer screen and seeing, does that utility bill, does it look real? It's totally automated, or not totally automated, I should say mostly automated. So they can do it at scale because you know that there's probably several million new Amazon accounts, seller accounts created every year. So they're really trying to filter out the folks who are going to be doing something bad or maybe violating policy already. For instance, they have more than one account, so they're using automated systems. The bad thing about this automated systems to do everything is there's too many false positives. And I think many people listening to this video, they know stories where some legitimate seller has been stopped from creating an account because of some weird error in the verification situation. So hey, your utility bill, the system thinks it's fraudulent, so they're gonna reject it. But these systems are very imperfect. I think everyone knows that Amazon seller tech, it's really rickety. It's designed to work fast, but it's just not that good quality in many respects, and there's too many false positives. So the other thing that I thought that relates to the automation issue that I just described is it says, while the number of products available for sale in our store continued to grow, the number of valid notices of infringement decreased. So this, I think, is also telling a story here. Their automated systems are tuned to be so strict that a lot of legitimate IP complaints, whether it's copyright or trademark or patent infringement, are just rejected out of hand. They just shut it right down. And I've been affected by this. I've submitted people who are ripping off my stuff. I use Brand Registry to try to file a complaint, and they reject it. Sometimes it's the most ridiculous stuff. So their automated systems are being too strict. It doesn't mean that sellers are submitting fewer complaints. It means that Amazon systems are so strict that more of them are getting rejected, and it leads to a lot of frustration amongst sellers. The third thing that I wanted to call out here is that it talks about working with law enforcement globally. And we've seen some stories here in the United States about sellers who are basically caught selling either counterfeit goods or pirated goods, or even worse, stolen goods. And they get caught up in like real investigations by the local DA or even some sort of federal interstate type of ripoffs. And oftentimes, if you hear the complaints of the sellers who are affected about this, they buy something from a Telegram wholesaler, and this wholesaler's has basically purchased some stuff or gotten some stuff that's been lifted off the back of a truck or a train, and the sellers get caught up in that. And that talks to the fact that we sellers, we have to be really careful about our supply chain. But the other interesting thing about this report is it says that I don't know if you can see this. In 2023, Amazon strengthened its cross-border anti-counterfeiting collaboration with brands and Chinese law enforcement. So they're actually trying to go so far upstream that it's going back to the factories in Shenzhen and other places in China. And I think generally they need to do that. But 50 successful raid actions with more than 100 bad actors identified and detained for questioning, I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. Let's face it, China is the factory for the world. Everything that we use practically has been touched by manufacturing in China. And that includes the phone or the device you're looking at right now, the shoes you're wearing, the plastic doohickey that you're using to run your business or maybe to sell on Amazon. All that stuff comes from China, or most of it does. And there's hundreds of thousands or maybe even millions of factories of all sizes operating in China to supply our needs. However, there's going to be a certain number of bad actors there, counterfeiting stuff or whatever. And it's not just 100 bad actors. It's going to be in the thousands. Most Chinese sellers and people participating in the Amazon ecosystem are hardworking. They make good stuff. They try to do things right. But of course, there's a number of bad actors, and 100 is just really quite small. So reading between the lines here, I'm just wondering why this number isn't larger. And maybe Amazon even has difficulties working or getting things done in China because the law system there is not opaque. It's not rule of law. It's basically a totalitarian system. And Amazon may have trouble just trying to get either a local authority or a national authority to follow up on some legitimate issue that they raise in terms of bad actors. So anyways, that's the latest brand security report that they release every year. And you can check it out on aboutamazon.com, and there's a link to the full report on that page.